Hope all of you are keeping well and are taking all necessary precautions. We are in difficult times. It is much more difficult for disabled people. Large number of disabled people have always faced exclusion and isolation. This is a new situation for the rest of the population as they find themselves excluded and isolated. For disabled, the situation has brought in more problems, however aggravated the existing ones. Many people with disabilities have a higher risk and are much more vulnerable. But it's difficult for people with many disabling conditions to follow the precautions that have been prescribed. As we all know, the disabled are not a homogeneous group. They are diverse. Their issues are diverse and so are the solutions. For people with visual impairment, the deafblind, those with intellectual disabilities, many people with cerebral palsy, etc., it may not be possible to practice physical distancing. Touching of surfaces is very important for people with visual impairment and the deafblind. Now, in this situation, when we ask to try and avoiding touching surfaces, how can people adhere to it? People who are independent earlier have now become dependent on someone for this reason. Another thing, information is essential for fighting this pandemic, but they are generally not available in accessible formats. They are not available in braille, audio, large print and sign language. Kerala did a thing by bringing out information in sign language for the first time. Another issue is access to health. Most disabled people have some health related issue. Now with hospitals not entertaining other cases, it poses greater risk for them. The health system was never accessible both in terms of physical access as well as due to attitudes. This situation has only worsened. There is a fear when there is a scarcity of beds, ventilators, etc., there will be discrimination against disabled. Disabled lives are actually of lesser value. That's how it is considered. People with intellectual disabilities and their caregivers actually face another sort of problems, a problem of communicating with people with intellectual impairment. There was a report from Calcutta recently that a father killed his 45-year-old disabled son as he would not listen to him of the repeated appeals not to go out without wearing a mask. As for women with disabilities are concerned, the issue is entirely different. Most of them, even otherwise, are in a lockdown situation with little opportunity to go out. They will be subjected to increased violence at home. But such women would find it much more difficult as not be able to seek help from NGOs during the lockdown. Unfortunately, even the guidelines issued by the Department of Disability Affairs does not address this issue. There is a huge shortage of blood in blood banks, for shortfall of nearly 50% that has been reported. This is going to be a huge problem for people with blood disorders who require blood transfusion on a regular basis. A large chunk of disabled population, even otherwise, is unemployed. Niti Aayog puts the figure at around 66%. But what is the employment that the other 34% have? Most are engaged in hawking on trains, buses, or on roadsides or doing odd jobs. It is generally only the government which employs disabled. This also because of reservations. But due to the neoliberal policies that have been pursued since last 30 years or so, private sector the privatization of the public sector has actually shrunken the already existing avenue. The only source for many people are actually the pensions. But even this pension has been limited to 10,20,000 only pension for disabled people. Now we have 21 conditions that are recognized as per the Rights of Person with Disability Act. This is a huge population, and even by conservative estimates, it should be around 10% of the population. The center gives only 300 rupees as pension to disabled people. The finance minister, in a cruel joke, said a relief of 1,000 rupees will be provided to all those covered of the pension scheme. This would amount to 333 rupees per month because it is spread over 3 months. Let alone taking into account additional costs that disabled have to spend and disability entails. This does not even provide for covering essentials. Therefore, we from the NPRD have been demanding that all those who are not in the income tax paying bracket should get an ex gratia of 7,500 per month until the situation improves. Tragically, even the 1,000 that has been announced by the finance minister is yet to reach people. Many people with disabilities are forced into begging. This situation will worsen. Many of will lose their livelihood. It will be a very difficult situation. It is really pathetic to see huge crowds in front of places where food is being distributed, dry rations are being distributed, etc. This meager amount of monthly pension also needs to be enhanced. Many people are unable to withdraw even this amount because they are unable to go to banks, use their ATMs, etc., etc. It's a very sad condition that is taking place, especially in the rural areas, where even payment towards outstanding wages of Manrega for the disabled have not been paid. They are not sure when the near future they will be able to access any schemes or get employment. There is another problem which is now being increasingly recognized, that issue of mental health. When there is a continuous lockdown situation, there is bound to be boredom, loneliness, fear and anxiety. The loss of employment, livelihood, loss of housing, etc. will have an adverse impact on mental health situation. This could also lead to an increase in deaths by suicides. Already one case has been reported from Gurgaon. Apart from an increase in such cases on mental health in persons with pre-existing conditions, it is bound to increase. But our mental health systems are not equipped to cope with it. According to the National Mental Health Survey 2018, undertaken by the Bangalore Institute of National Health and Neurosciences, the treatment gap is around 83% for any mental illness. The same survey also found that the huge gap in mental health providers, actually 0.2% in Madhya Pradesh and 1.2% in Kerala. This is compounded by the total absence of any measure to address these concerns. And these are not limited to disabled people alone. Lakhs of people are suffering because of the unplanned manner in which this lockdown has been imposed on unsuspecting people. More people will die of unrelated issues to COVID than of COVID per se. So there is a necessity to provide free rations to include that will include also disabled. The necessity to increase to provide an ex gratia of 7,000 per month, and also enhance the pension that is being provided now. There is a need to spend more on healthcare, including on mental health. The need to make it accessible and affordable. And as the ILO says, all crises bring opportunities, and the opportunity of the movement is to make inclusion of all previously marginalized groups, including persons with disabilities, a central element of all responses. Some changes have been forced on society, like work from home, flexible working hours, use of video conferencing for judicial purposes, doorstep delivery, etc. These are the norm in lockdown situation. We will have to build on this as we move out of the pandemic situation. Be safe, take adequate precautions. We will surely overcome this, but also be prepared for more struggles. The days ahead are not going to be easy. We have to brace ourselves for harsher days. We have to also brace ourselves for bigger and mightier struggles to bring about a change for the better, for an India and a world that would end discrimination of all sorts, including on the basis of disability. I would like to conclude by a quote from Stephen Hawking. He said, "The past, like the future, is an indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities." Thank you.